Good afternoon and hello everybody in the CS 453 class. So this is the mobile app development course. And today's lecture is for Tuesday, 4/14. And this week on 4/16, we have assignment number 5 due. And if you remember, assignment number 5 is on the broadcast receivers and services. So the due date is this coming, I should say the 16th, by the way. This coming up Thursday, but you also have 7 days grace. So it really isn't due till the 23rd, or it's not late, really, technically, till the 23rd. So what I want to do right now is introduce to you assignment number 6, which is due in almost 3 weeks, if you look at it. But we are coming close to the end of the course. We do have number 6 and we have number 7 left. All assignments will need to be submitted by Thursday, 5/7. Assignment number 7 is not too hard. It's a pretty easy one. Number 6 is actually pretty easy too. Number 6 and number 7 sort of bring some concepts together from the previous assignments in this class. So it's best to do all of the previous ones before you start 6 and 7. So if you haven't finished assignment number 5 yet, you should be finishing it up. This week's videos are going to be on cameras. I'm doing camera. I showed you some sound in a previous video. And we also have a video on notifications, how to send notifications up. So these are added little features you could put into your apps for your creativity. And you may also find them very useful for the future. So assignment number 6. So we've already done 5. 5's on the broadcast receivers and services. And for assignment number 6, you're going to do what's called an expense tracking app. So you're going to create an expense tracking app. And here you might actually could use the notifications. Like when you have spent too much, you could send up a notification maybe. So take a look at that notifications video. It might give you some hints. But create an expense tracking app that includes the following features. So you need to store persistent data. This means you need to either do preferences or do a database. So you need some persistent data. Persistent data means that it survives past the application restart. So if we close the application and bring it back up again, we should be able to retrieve the data. You can use SQLite, or text files, or preference files, or SD file, anything you want, any form of data storage that you want. So for each entry that is stored, you're going to have a name that's going to be a string, a category, a date. Don't worry about using the date format. It could be a string. In fact, you can change these data types. You don't have to use these data types as is. You can use any data types that you want. So the amount could be a float, I don't know, it could be a double. So you're going to keep track of expenses. So for example, this could be pizza, put in the category of food, today, whatever date you want to put in there, $1,000. I don't know how much it costs for pizza. It doesn't cost $1,000. A little note, so this is a very expensive pizza. So this is only a field that the user can leave blank. The rest of the fields they should have to type in. So you'll have a user interface that comes up that shows them, any way you want. You can design it yourself. Entry, they can either select it from a menu, they can type it in, but they have to fill in these fields. You can leave the notes blank, or you can, the rest of them they should have. How are you going to keep track of expenses if you don't know the name or the category or the amount? And so the ID could be an int, and which the user isn't going to enter in, but is needed for the database. This must be a unique value. So this ID can be anything. You can have the user put it in, but you can just auto-generate this ID. So this the user doesn't have to put in. And the notes the user doesn't have to put in, but the rest of it they should have to put this in. And you can do this any way you want, and you can actually add more data to this. This is just a sample of an example. You can use any data types, and you can use any data fields, but you want at least four or 5 items. I would do a minimum of 4 items of data to be stored. So you need a way for the user to create a new entry, update an existing entry, and then delete an entry. And then you're going to need to create categories of expenses. The user can create them or you can pre-populate them. So you could actually pre-populate the data if you wanted to and just have them pull it from a spinner or a multiple select of some sort or a single select. You can have them pull it or click buttons to add stuff. It's your choice. So the user can select from already existing categories stored. If you make some existing categories, you will need to query the database, get a unique list of categories that the user can then click on, likely via a spinner, a dialog, or other. The choice is up to you. There should also be a way to enter in a new category. So you can pre-populate it with categories, and these are categories for expenses. And I would have maybe 3 or 4 categories. You could be like food, rent, school, whatever your categories or expenses are. You're basically making an expense tracking app, and you design it. These are the features that you want to put into it. And so the purpose of this app is to bring together some of the other things that we've been doing in some of the other projects. So the use of persistent data, the use of UI components, and this is very UI oriented. So this is showing you a lot of the interactions with the UI components. So don't copy and paste source code from the internet. You're supposed to build your own app from scratch using native Android development tools. Turn it in the way you've turned in the other apps. Some of you are having great success using the shared drive, which is great. So email is not always the best way of submitting your apps because they get caught in the email. They get caught in the email servers. But if you put them on a shared drive, a OneDrive, a shared drive, we have Google Space, Google Drives from the school. So be creative. You can add other features that are not in this description if you'd like. This is the minimum requirements. You can put other features. You can have it play music. You could send up notifications. You can have it do whatever it is you want it to do along with the stuff, or you can have it just do the stuff. You can actually keep track. This one has the amount. You could have reports that maybe say, here are my monthly expenses for food, or here are my monthly expenses for, I don't know, something else. It's an expense tracking app. And the idea is to give you a little practice putting together complete apps that have more than just a couple different pieces. This has got a lot more functionality than some of the other projects that you've done for this class. So this is putting the pieces together and assembling a full app that has a theme, but also has multiple levels of functionality to it. So I hope you enjoyed the experience. If you have questions about this particular assignment, feel free to email me. The assignment is not due for several weeks. It is not due until the 30th for the first time, and then you have a 7-day grace. You do not have a 7-day grace on the last assignment. The last assignment is due on 5/7. I will demo that in the near future, probably next week. Next week I'll talk about assignment number 7. This week I'm talking about assignment number 6, and you should be finishing up assignment number 5. So if you have any questions, feel free to ping me, to reach out. You're not alone, so I'm here to help you. You just have to let me know you need help. And we are going to have a final exam at the end of the course, and the final exam will be during the final exam week. It will not be on campus. The final exam will be in Blackboard. So it will be very similar, of practically the identical format of the midterm. So it'll be 15 short answer questions that will be having a timer that you can only go in one time. So it's a one sitting. You go in, you start it, and it'll go for, I don't remember how long it will be yet. And I will have a final exam review session, probably this week, one of these 2 weeks, that will let you know what to study for the exam. You'll go in, open up the exam, type your answers in online. It is timed So you don't have an unlimited amount of time, and it's only a one try thing, so you can't repeat it multiple times. But I will arrange it so you can take it anytime during the week of the final exam week. So stay tuned for more details on that. That is not the comprehensive review for the final exam. That is just a preview. I will have a lot more information about the final exam in the coming weeks. So if you do have questions, comments, concerns, please reach out and contact me. Otherwise, I hope you guys are being safe and sheltering in place. It looks like we're going to finish the class out from home. And hopefully I'll see some of you guys back in the fall if we have on-campus classes again, hopefully. The summer session, it will be online as well. So if you're taking any summer classes or planning on it, that's going to be online. So be well, and I will see you for another video next week. Have a good rest of the week.